Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late November 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's happening for the Scorpio gang, my guides and spirit team. What's happening for us? What do you got for the Scorpio collective here as we move into late November? My guides, and yeah, it is at the tail end of Scorpio season as I film this reading right now, so let's see what's up for my friends. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself, and at the very end I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio. And for those of you that are on that cusp, that border with Sagittarius, I just want to wish you all a very happy birthday. Okay? Celebrate, be safe, all that good stuff, because Scorpio season is right at the tail end. Okay, so yeah, a lot of you might be looking towards the future here. And this does not feel like a pessimistic card or a bad card, but there's a lot of layers with the symbolism here, which is a very Scorpio-esque type of energy, right? It's not always simple. There's always a lot of layers with certain things and situations you're going through. And this card could easily represent that. Now, before we fully dive too much into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about this card. So we see this beautiful woman on the beach. She is in that long dark blue dress looking out at the horizon. There's these different structures up in the sky. There's rainbows. So to me, the way I interpret this is she's looking off at the horizon, what's to come or where she's going. So for a lot of Scorpios, you might be in a future focused state of mind, or spirit might want you to be. Like, hey, make a plan for the next year, make a plan for the next 5, whatever. But these little objects in the sky to me are like landmarks and experiences that are still to come. So for a lot of Scorpios, maybe you need that little bit of optimism, like, hey, the best is yet to come. There's still good things coming down the pipeline for you, okay? Regardless of how long you've been on this earth, there's still really good things that the future holds. So I really like this, and it's a good way to start. If you're not looking towards the future, Spirit might want you to, okay? But try to hold that sense of optimism in the future. Very important. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just the footnote. I'm going to get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. And then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff, right? So what's happening with Scorpio? And while we get this deck prepared and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading, my friends. It was a bit of a volatile one. It was titled An Explosive Warning. And when I was reading that spread, there was fire all over the place. So what I'm hoping for a lot of you is that you were able to transmute that fire energy and use it as motivation to keep things moving forward. Sometimes explosive isn't a bad thing. Sometimes that's good for picking up steam and making progress, but it felt so unpredictable last week. So hopefully you're not going through too many situations here, but let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're linked to. Let's get 3 cards out for the Scorpios, please, my gods. What do you got for us in late November as we move into Sagittarius season? Okay, we have the Fool. So talk about future focus. We're getting a double down of that energy here. I love the Fool card. Okay, this is another Mars-ruled type of energy. It's Aries. I have Aries and Scorpio placements myself, so that card hits for me. Let's get a couple more. Both are ruled by Mars. Both are ruled by action, forward movement, forward momentum. Okay, deck's being specific now. Thank you. Action. Okay. We have, so we're still back here with the fire energy, Scorpio. We are still here with all this fire energy, and it doesn't necessarily feel bad. We have the Queen of Swords on the back end, so we have the fire-air combination as predicted and told about before. So this is going to be an interesting one. Once again, it does feel a little unpredictable already, but let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So at first look, first glance, I look down here. Obviously, we're leading off with 2 fire element cards. Both of them are action-based, and they're moving quick into this air of the Queen of Swords, which, once again, fire, air, combustible, could be good for progress, could also be very unpredictable. This could represent certain people or individuals. We have communication. It's like we have a lot of moving parts. It feels very rapid here, Scorpio. So I would say for a lot of you, just judging by what I'm seeing now, that unpredictability, the surprising, unexpected energy is in the air still. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this story out. Position number 1, we have the Fool, the protagonist of the tarot deck, the very first major arcana. So when we see the Fool card, it represents starting a new journey or moving towards the future. So very similar to this very first card in the beginning, the future focus. And I love the Fool. I feel like it is optimistic. So another thing that it shares with that very first oracle card, and it's action. This is someone that's not afraid to act. This is someone that's not afraid to make a move or do what they want to do. However, there are some, aside from like the new journeys and fresh things in your life, the Fool does have some challenges. One, in its roughest case scenario, could be someone that lacks trust in the universe, trust in a plan. The Fool can also be very sporadic, very unpredictable. It could do things by the seat of its pants. It just does things very unpredictable type of energy is what the Fool is. And you see, that Fool is about to walk off the mountain. So in this time, unpredictability might not be the best energy to lean into. We'll see though, because I see the Fool as a positive until I see a negative. Once again, it represents Aries. So maybe you have some Aries placements like me, Aries and Scorpio, but Aries is the other zodiac sign like Scorpio that is ruled by Mars, ruled by action. Can be aggressive sometimes. It's very fiery, but we'll see. We'll go into that deeper. Moving to the center, we have the 8 of Wands. Okay, this is a huge card of action and communication. Oh no, I just knocked that Queen of Swords off her bearings. I'll put her right up there for the time being. Okay, we'll take you back. Now, the 8 of Wands, to me, it could just talk about forward momentum, forward progress, once again, action. This is one of the biggest cards of messages, communication, talking. So there might be an important talk or some sort of talk of importance or seriousness that's coming in, or a message. Like I said, this is very much action-oriented too. So we're really going to want to dive deeper in with this 8 of Wands. Can you guess what I'm going to say is one of the challenges of the 8 of Wands? It's unpredictable. It can act in surprising ways or unexpected ways. So very similar to what we were having last week, very similar to this Fool and what we have in the middle. There's this unpredictability happening here. And I know Scorpios could vibe with that. They could work with that, right? It's not like Earth sign energy where we all need things laid out, itineraries and plans with bullet points. Like Scorpios can go with the flow, right? I totally know that. You know, if there's a sign that could deal with unpredictability, it's Scorpio, that's for sure. So we're just going to place that there. For all we know, it could just be a talk or a message. Now, moving to the back end, we have the Queen of Swords. Very stern, very serious. Now, for a portion of you, you might be linked to an air sign, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. And when I see the Queen of Swords, it is a very powerful, divine, feminine energy. Maybe that's an energy you're stepping into. And she's about her business, right? There's a lot of good things about this Queen of Swords. She is no games, no nonsense, no BS. She's going to tell it to you like it is and pull no punches. In her challenge, she is someone that could be a little cold. This could be someone, yeah, that's very strategic and plan-based, but very, very cold-hearted sometimes. So make sure you're not being or acting too cold-hearted. But the Queen of Swords is serious, just like the King. So when I see the unpredictability, then I see this serious, stern type of energy, I don't necessarily feel like this is going to be a warning in the spread, but we're just going to have to see. I want to dive deeper, Scorpio. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio, please. My gods and spirit team, what's happening? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Fool. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Scorpio, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Fool time. What's happening? What could this be for my Scorpios, please? Thank you. 2 of Swords. Yeah, expecting unexpected this week, my friends. I'm just going to say it again. Yet again, we have more air energy, and we have one of my biggest cards of mystery. Now, if you've been confused or you feel like there's certain things, you don't have all the facts or the details, or there's certain situations that don't quite make sense to you, they might make a lot more sense within the next coming days and weeks. That's one thing I will say. But the Two of Swords in the upright, I don't feel like it's necessarily bad, but it's feeding more into that fire-air combo that we've been seeing. And this is one of my big cards of mystery. It's one of my cards of the unexpected. So in this time, expect the unexpected in a lot of different ways. Now, for some of you, this with the Fool could represent a new path or a new journey or a new chapter starting off that you didn't see coming in one way or another, which can be good. We'll see how it all plays out as we move throughout the reading itself. But this can't be confused when we see it underneath the Fool card, because it's like, okay, well, whether I see all the aspects or I don't, I'm going to make a move anyway. There is inherent action happening here, and with all the fire-air combo, like, there's going to be changes happening. But I would say the main thing here, two messages. One, if there's something that doesn't make sense to you, or there's something you've been confused about, it's going to make a lot of sense to you in the coming days and weeks. Or there's going to be some sort of new opportunity that opens up for you in a very, very big way, and it could be unexpected here in the front. And I want to see how that matures and how that plays throughout the reading. I think we're going to get more detail. So let's move in on that Eight of Wands, because like I said, when we're talking about possible opportunities, then we move into the talking section with the Eight of Wands. Now we'll see. So let's go in on that Eight of Wands for Scorpio. My guides and spirit team, what's happening with Scorpio and the Eight of Wands? Okay. Thank you. Yeah. And another card of mystery here. We have the High Priestess in the upright. Okay. Yeah. I saw a very similar thing in the Virgo reading. It's like, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse type of energy. That's intuitively what I'm picking up here. The High Priestess generally represents the Pisces collective. But I link her to all the water signs. So when I see the High Priestess, I think Scorpios have aspects of the High Priestess. I think Cancers do, and Pisces. So when I see her in the upright, I feel like that's one of Scorpio's power cards under the card of communication. This is getting some news or someone coming out of the blue to talk to you. So if you've been having issues communicating with somebody, or you haven't heard from somebody in a while, they could come in this time. But a big thing I'm picking up here, linked in with what we have in the front, is somebody might make you an unexpected offer or a surprising offer. Like, listen, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Now, it's up to you if you refuse it or not, but you might have more options coming in than you think, because so far, I've been saying it since the beginning, there's been a lot of unpredictability, explosive energy, things that are unexpected and surprising. The two big clarifiers on the bottom are both big cards of mystery here and intuition. So I think whatever this offer is that's coming in, even though it's unexpected or surprising, you might feel it deep in your gut. Like, okay, well, I know it's going to turn out a certain way. Like, the signs aren't showing it, but I know something's going to turn out a certain way. That's just the vibe I'm picking up here, Scorpio. So I would say, once again, expect the unexpected in various ways. But to me, this center with the Eight of Wands, it's either someone popping up that you haven't talked to in a while, so a talk or a message, but it feels like an offer, like someone making you an offer you can't refuse. So it's up to you whether it is unexpected or surprising. Saw a very similar thing in Virgo. Let's go in on the Queen of Swords, and we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. I'm liking it. I'm not catching big red flags here, but you might be surprised by a lot of things in the coming weeks, and that's not a common thing for Scorpios. Trust me, as part of the collective myself, I know that we see through a lot of things. We're very intuitive in different ways, but I still see a lot of things surprising you, but it doesn't feel bad. Let's go in on that Queen of Swords. Thank you. Yeah, Hermit in reverse here. Good. So speaking of Virgo, now we have the Virgo power card here. The Hermit, when it's in the upright, is another one of my mystery cards as well. It's usually a retract, pulled back type of energy. And I still see more energy moving towards you here on the back end. When I see the Hermit in reverse, I feel like this is someone making an appearance, okay? So for a lot of you, whether this is a situation with a very particular person, it could be where someone pops back up. That could be a big possibility with what I'm seeing on the back end, especially with how it goes here, with expecting unexpected, then the communication and the offer, then boom, this possible person popping up. Now, the Hermit in the upright to me is someone withdrawing their energy. This is the energy presenting itself when it's in reverse. So I will say this, for a lot of Scorpios, I wouldn't say this as a warning, but if a person presents themselves to you, or a person comes back or returns or comes out of the blue, they might act a little cold in the beginning. They might act a little stern and serious with you. Now, it's up to you whether you believe that or not. But I feel like whoever this is popping up, they might seem a little different. They might seem a little cold. Okay, whether that's something that's happened or it's already happened. Because remember, the Queen of Swords, very stern and serious. But if you've been having issues, especially with an air sign, I could see them circling back here for sure. And I don't normally make predictions like that. Another thing I could say here with this Queen of Swords, Hermit in reverse, is somebody not running away as well. So maybe there's a problem or an issue you're going through and it's like, no, I'm going to stand firm. I'm not running away. This is what it is. Let's go through and do a recap because I'm picking up a lot of different things now, Scorpio. I don't want to get too far off track. But before the shadow card, if you kindly look in the box here, in position number 1, interesting how all this energy has been playing, like unexpected and mysterious energy has been the name of the game this whole reading, even going back into last week. But we have the Fool and the Two of Swords in the upright. I did say if there's something that's been confusing you or if you haven't been able to understand it, things are going to start to make sense to you. But expect the unexpected because new paths could be opening and new things could be coming into your life, even if you don't see it. And moving to the center, we have the Eight of Wands with the High Priestess in the upright. And to me, with one of your power cards there, it's like, yeah, someone might make you an unexpected or a surprising offer, an offer you can't refuse. There might be someone you haven't heard from in a while that pops back up as well. That's a big possibility in 2 areas of this spread. Moving to the back end, we have the Queen of Swords with the Hermit in reverse. So once again, energy of someone or something popping back up here. They might act a little firm or stern in their own ways. Another thing I was saying about this, you might not be retreating. If you're going through a problem or situation, you might stand firm and say, you know what? I'm going to face this down. I'm not running from nothing. So Scorpio, please take a screenshot of that. Very interesting reading. And remember, this could be other people's energies as well. It doesn't just have to be yours. Let's see what's in the shadows here. What do you got for us, my guides? What's in the shadows for Scorpio? Please. And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end. I feel like it's a nice thing to do, just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. I mean, we have so much mystery in the spread, so we might as well pull a shadow card. Oh, and yes, if you've made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it down in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel and support my mission here on YouTube. So there's several different tiers you could check out. No pressure, though. Let's get you a shadow card. What do we got for Scorpio? In the shadows. Okay, thank you, world. Okay. The world might be bothering you, the world itself, Scorpio. Like whether it's world events or whether it's the world itself. And yes, this card means a lot of different things. It's the bookend to the Fool when we have the world. And sure, it could represent endings. Maybe something ended in a way that you don't deem satisfactory. Or like, all right, well, yeah, no, I don't like how that went down. I don't like how that ended. So for some of you, that could still be in the shadows, not coming to grips with the way something elapsed could be a possibility. But the first intuitive thing I saw here, Scorpio, or felt was like the world itself, whether it's how people are acting, whether it's politics or world events or whatever the heck is happening, could be affecting you, or you just might not be about it at all. It's like, listen, I just want to go live out in the woods. It's like one of those type of vibes here. Now, once again, yes, we could talk about the angelic energies, the protective energies. That could be here with the world as well. But I would say for a lot of you, try not to overindulge too much in current events and news because it could really affect you in a big way. So, Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details. The November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be in the community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for November, we're bringing back winner's choice. 2 lucky subscribers will get to pick a deck of their choosing up to $40 US. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you think is the most fun? Which one do you have the most fun with? And yeah, after that, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of November, I'll pick the winners at random as usual. My friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.